Hello students, this is Professor Somonshi and welcome to our channel Adsro Polytechnic. So students, in today's video, we are going to see what is meant by static data members. So let's start the session. Now students, first we will see what are the characteristics of static data members. So suppose student, if we want to create any data member as a static, then we have to write the keyword static before its data type. For example, suppose student here the count is a variable, its data type is integer. So if I want to make this count variable static, then I have to use this static keyword before the data type. That means before data type, we are going to use the keyword static. So if I put this keyword static before data type, then the variable count has become the static variable. Now, what is meant by static variable or what is meant by static data members? So we will see the characteristics. It is initialized to 0 when the first object of class is created. That means it is automatically initialized. When we create the first object, suppose here we have declared one class item, then here we have created a count variable which is of type static. Now after that, when I create the object of that particular class, suppose I have created the object I1, I2 of this class item. At that time, this count variable will automatically initialize to 0. That means that inside this count variable, there will be 0 value. No other initialization is permitted, means rather than 0, there is no any other value which is permitted for the initialization. Now students, in the previous session, we have seen that memory allocation for object. We have seen memory allocation for objects. So there we have already seen that for each object, for each variable, separate copy is created because each variable will hold the different value for different objects. But if the variable is made static, then for the entire class, there is only one copy of that member. So here I have created this count variable as static. Now, if I create 100 objects of this class item, then for all the 100 items, the only one copy will be created for count variable and it is shared. So here the third characteristics is this created copy, only one copy is created, and then this created copy is shared by all the object of that class. That means how many the number of objects we are going to create. Suppose we are going to create 50 objects, then for all the 50 objects only one copy will be created. If we create the 70 or 90 objects of particular class, then only one copy, then also only one copy will be created for the 70 or 90 objects. That means that for all the objects there is only one copy, and that created copy is shared by the all objects. Now it is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is the entire program. That means this static variable, its visibility is inside the class, means it is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is the entire program. That means that we can access that static data members from outside the class also. Its lifetime is also the entire program, means for the entire program the static data members are accessible. Now why the static data members are used? So the static data members are normally used to maintain values which are common to entire class. Suppose I want to use a common value for entire class. Suppose I have created one class Adsul, and then I have to use one institute code for all the students. Then the institute code for all the students will be same. It will be 1464. Suppose 1464 is the institute code, and I want to maintain that institute code value, that is 1464, common for all the students. Then at that time I will use this static variable. So there I will use static int code, which the code value will be something we can write it. Now the type and scope of static member variable must be defined outside the class definition. Means here this is the class definition. Inside the class definition we have created the variable count. Now I want to define this count variable. The static variable needs to be defined where outside the class. So here I have defined this static member. So this count is a static member and I have written the definition outside this class. Now how to define the static data members? For that purpose, first I will require the data type. The data type is integer. So here I have taken integer. Then this count variable belongs to class item. So after int, I have used the name of class. The name of class is item. So after integer, I have written the name of class, that is item. Then we are going to use the scope resolution operator. And after that, I am going to write the name of variable. The name of variable is count. So why this scope resolution operator is useful? In order to say that, or in order to show that this count variable belongs to class item. This count variable belongs to class item. This is shown by this scope resolution operator. So here we have seen that type and scope of each static member variable must be defined outside the class definition. So what is the type? The type is integer is the type. Scope of static member means the name of class. So type and scope of the static member variable must be defined outside the class definition. So why this is necessary? So this is necessary because the static data members are stored separately rather than as a part of object. Means we are going to create only one copy. So we are going to create that copy and that copy will be stored separately. It is not stored as a part of objects. So all the variables, all the other variables will be stored as a part of object. All the other normal variables or regular variables will be stored as a part of object, but these static data members are stored separately because they are not part of the particular object. They are the part of entire class. They are the part of entire class. Since they are associated with the class itself rather than class objects, they are also called as class variables. Since they are associated with class itself, means they are associated with class, they are not associated with the objects. That's why we can also call static data members as class members. So students, in this way we have seen the static data members. So where we have seen the characteristics. What are the characteristics? It is initialized to 0 when the first object is created. When we create the first object, it is automatically initialized to 0. No other initialization is permitted. Then how many copy are going to be created? Only one copy will be created. Then what will happen with that created copy? That created copy is shared by all the objects. Okay. Then what about the visibility? So it is visible only within the class, but lifetime is the entire program. And after that, what is the purpose of static variables? Static variables are normally used to maintain the values common to the entire class. And after that, what we have seen, after declaring the static data members, we have to define the static data member. So first we need to write the type of the data member. Then the scope means of which class, to which class that particular variable belongs. So this count variable belongs to item. That's why we have written integer item, then scope resolution operator, and then count. And as they are associated with the class, they are also called as class variables. Means static data members or static variables are also called as static data members. So students, in this way we have seen what is meant by static data members. So students, thank you.